Have you guys noticed that there are so many R&B albums where the dude just goes like this? Echo, go ahead and do me a favor. Put my beautiful face on somebody doing this on a little R&B cover. You know, we gonna call it, I don't know, we gonna call it something though. By the way, it's Workout Wednesday! What's going on with your big dog? And it is an amazing Wednesday. I hope that you are having as good as a Wednesday as I am right now. So of course, for Workout Wednesday, our workout was extremely simple. The only thing we had to do was row for 250 meters, do push-ups, and then sit-ups for 20 minutes straight. That's the buy-in. From there, we're gonna be doing a lot of upper body work. That is going to be military presses. I did a lot of military presses, upright rows, and then front rows. Really simple workout, just working out that back so I can carry us to the promised land. And basically by carrying us to the promised land, all I'm saying is that we all need that extra moolah. I'm gonna be telling you some cars that you should definitely sell because just like the R&B, this ain't it. I'm not saying that R&B is terrible or anything. I'm still trying to think of my album name. So without further ado, let's jump on in and talk about these cars that you should be selling. So I know exactly what I'll call my album. 21 Booty Grabs. Let me guess. It's a little too classy, isn't it? The first card I want to talk to you about is no stranger to sell this card before it plummets in price. This time around, I'm not here to bash how bad of a Yu-Gi-Oh card it is. I'm actually here to tell you that there's a better option. RedEyes Dragoon is still a fairly powerful Yu-Gi-Oh card, non-targetable, can't be destroyed, yada yada yada, blows up your opponent's cards. You know the deal about this card. But the reason why I'm telling you to sell it now is because when Burst of Destiny comes out, this card will be a little less competitive. The new Destiny Hero Fusion monster is looking to push Dragoon out of the top throne when it comes to vert targets, and the reason being is because you don't have to play 3 bricks. Fusion Destiny is actually a pretty good Yu-Gi-Oh card that you can activate after you special summon your monsters. Also, Destiny Hero Dasher and Destiny Hero Celestial are pretty decent cards to draw, as opposed to looking at the Dragoon engine where RedEyes, Black Dragon, and Dark Magician is definitely what you want to see in your hand. Granted, the new Destiny Hero Fusion monster may trade off a little bit of power, but it's almost worth it. RedEyes Dragoon is currently $95 a copy, but to be honest with you, I don't think that this card would be cheap even if it were to be reprinted. It has Dark Magician and RedEyes in its text, so it's forever tied to the lore, but I do think that $95 will be way more expensive than where this card will land, so flipping RedEyes Dragoon while it's at its peak pricing potential may not be a bad idea. This card is in a fairly interesting situation, and if you decided not to sell it, no one would blame you, because Infinite Impermanence is still one of the top hand traps inside of this format, being able to negate any monster on the field, and also being able to play around cards like Triple Tactics Talent and Call by the Grave. The reason why I'm telling you to look into flipping your Infinite Impermanences is for actually 2 reasons. And the first is that Infinite Impermanence is a confirmed super rare inside of the Cyber Strike inside of the Cyber Strike structure deck, and while the pre-orders for this card is a super rare is already $14, which is more expensive than the actual structure deck. I'm not sure if the Yu-Gi-Oh market in America understands that Walmart's, Targets, and GameStops exist that sell these structure decks for MSRP. There's also Infinite Impermanence getting a confirmed rarity upgrade inside of Ultimate Rare and the newest OTS. Those 2 factors combined may have you looking at your Infinite Impermanence like either you too expensive or you not expensive enough. Secret rare copies of Infinite Impermanence are $60 each, while every other rarity for the exception of Super is around that $20 mark. If you were to sell your Infinite Impermanences, this will be a very quick sell, only until the super rares are released to pick them back up when they're a little bit cheaper. So I don't know how this card figured itself to be in a card that you should sell, mainly because Blazing Vortex it's an interesting set. Brigade Kit is a card that has skyrocketed in price for almost no reason. Well, I mean, there is a reason. It's because it's from Blazing Vortex, meaning that it won't get a reprint until next year. And saying that it's important for the Brigade strategy, I guess. But the reason why this card is a card you should be selling is because it's a super rare from Blazing Vortex. This card's price tag is a result of a buyout, a genuine, oh no, what are you doing, baby? When it comes to targeting Yu-Gi-Oh cards that have not been reprinted that are needed for certain decks. I genuinely think that you should be flipping Brigade Kits if someone is going to pay $4 each for every single one of them. I think I'm gonna have an album on a song where I just like do vocals like, ooh yeah. I know I'm the best, right? Speaking of Blazing Vortex, there's another card that is in stark contrast to Brigade Kit. Pot of Prosperity is always and probably will forever be the chase card from the Blazing Vortex set, and it's for good reason. It literally says pot in its name. If you're a pothead, then you want this card, right? Right? No, but in all seriousness, Pot of Prosperity is one of the better pot cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, so why would it ever make this list? Well, in case you are looking for some extra money and don't need the Pot of Prosperity right now, this could be a risky gambit that could pay off. Pot of Prosperity is almost like Infinite Impermanence, except it doesn't have any confirmed reprints. It's a card that's highly valuable inside of the play circuit right now, and you can take advantage of that fact. It is currently sitting at $110 per copy, so flipping Pot of Prosperities for right now and waiting until they're a little bit less viable to pick them up is not a bad move. It's just risky because it's Pot of Prosperity. I didn't say every card that should be sold is a guaranteed reprint. Sometimes you gotta take a risk to make some money. Moving on, another serious buyout because other cards around it were reprinted. Elder Entity Intus does have its super rare print and its gold rare print, and is a card that I said that you should buy before it skyrocketed in price. So let's just get over me being right and then move on to why you should sell it. Now, Elder Entity Intus was bought out because not only were the Shadow cards reprinted, so were the Dogmaticas. So you'd actually just look for targets for the Shadows and the Dogmatica cards, right? Well, I guess just Dogmatica Punishment. Elder Entity Intus for its super rare counterpart is $8, while its gold rare is about $5. This is a little too expensive for a card inside of a deck that is good, but not necessarily worth making this card really expensive. Now, when I told you that Pendulum was a great rogue Yu-Gi-Oh deck looking to come back into the metagame since the banning of Electromite, I didn't expect y'all to go this left, as Pendulum Call is a really good card, but not necessarily worth its price tag. I mean, it does have a pretty good effect, being able to discard a card to search 2 Magician monsters, but a lot of Pendulum Magician builds only play 1, and it's for good reason. This card at common is worth $8. Oh shit. What are we doing here? And to make matters worse, the super rare copy is just as much as the common. What are we really doing here? If you have an abundance of Pendulum Call, this is easily a card that you should be flipping right now. I remember when this card was 50 cents back in my Yu-Gi Boomer days. The good old days. Now, this card actually just screams reprint, so it's my hospitality to tell you before it actually does. Dragon Maid Hospitality is a card that is extremely expensive, and I guess is for good reason. It does allow you to special summon a Dragon Mommy monster from your graveyard to your side of the field. Notice I said Dragon Mommy because that's the only one we're talking about here. I mean, the other Dragon Maids are okay, I guess, but Dragon Mommy is Dragon Mommy. And also can Foolish Burial another Dragon Maid monster from your deck to the graveyard with the appropriate attribute. I guess you got me there because there's no big dark Dragon Maid monster yet. But this card is at an outrageous price tag because not only was it short printed, it's from a set that's a couple years old. Dragon Maid Hospitality is a $35 Yu-Gi-Oh card, and if there wasn't anything that smelled being reprinted inside of the next Gold Series set, this is it. Hospitality has been sitting at that $35 price tag for almost a year and a half. This is the perfect time to flip it before it goes down in price. And the last card is pretty high in price because, I mean, why not? The rest of the deck is pretty high in price. Heroes are no exception to the rule of nostalgia, and one card that is definitely one of the better pieces for the strategy is Vision Hero Ferris. Now, Vision Hero Ferris does find itself at a fairly interesting crossroad because not only was it a short print secret inside of the Battles of Legends Heroes Revenge, it's also a pretty important card for the hero strategy. Why exactly is this card $40 though? That's a lot. I mean, hero hype is one thing, and this card is definitely hyped up. I would strongly suggest flipping this card because it has hit its peak price potential. I don't see Ferris going over $50, and a reprint is long due for this card. Well, that is all that I have for the cards that you should sell But of course, if you want to help the community out, go ahead and post down below what are some other cards that people should be getting rid of. Also, if you want to talk more about Yu-Gi-Oh, I will be streaming today on Twitch at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so go ahead and check me out there. Until then, you can check out these other videos, because of course, I'll catch you on the next one.